Hello everyone and welcome to Wayland Student Press Network's live coverage of Wayland Varsity Lacrosse. I'm Gabe Leikerman. Alongside me is DT Welling, and we're getting ready for an exciting matchup between the Wayland Warriors and the Bedford Buccaneers as this game has started. And right now it looks like Bedford has the ball.
Yeah, Gabe, early on, Wayland had a little bit of an opportunity there in Bedford's zone. Weren't able to convert, and now Bedford's looking to move it up the field.
And I think now Wayland has taken possession. Passes it back to the 30. Trying to maneuver around him. He takes it to midfield. That's Alex Mealy running through the entire Bedford team.
Yeah, impressive run there. And you see Wayland now trying to set up in the Bedford zone again, maybe get a goal this time.
Now this is Chris Monroe. He takes a shot, and this will go out of bounds.
No, I think it was saved, yeah, by the Bedford goalie, and they start their attack here.
Here's Bedford. Passes it to midfield. Moving the ball well. As he maneuvers around his defender, he's to the 30.
Yeah, Bedford's first time in the Wayland zone here to see how Wayland's defense looks here early on.
Sends us behind the net. And this will...
Yeah, looks like out of bounds there. Let's see. Yeah, Wayland ball.
Wayland will play this back in as they're going to run it out. Plays it up to the 45. And not sure quite what's going on here.
Yeah, looks like he's just holding the ball right around the 40. Waiting for Wayland to set up. And as he moves in, trying to make something happen. You see Bedford guarding the goal. Looks like 29. They're really looking trying to stop. And that, of course, is Ryan McDonald.
Pass to the 15. Looking to get a shot off. They have a shot, and it is no good. Missed it by just a little bit, and it'll be waiting for the ref's signal. And it'll be Wayland ball. Wayland takes it back.
See if Wayland can get it close to the goal this time and get a clean shot off. Here's their playmaker, Dante, looking to make a run. Dante Coppola behind the goal now. Set up.
And they take it back just to reset that offense. Taylor Shue with the ball, gives it up to Will Monroe. Monroe still got the ball. Pass to Coppola. Coppola, good move. He's going to the net. And it's a save by the Bedford goalkeeper. And this will trickle out of bounds for and this will be Wayland ball here.
Yeah, but Gabe, you can see already Dante Coppola is the big impact player for Wayland. Bedford knows that probably from their last time these two teams played, where Wayland won 15-4 and Dante Coppola scored a stunning 6 goals. So they know who they're trying to stop. Let's see if they can do it.
As driving towards the net, and this will be a goal. Wayland gets onto the score sheet.
Yeah, I think it was Ryan Mack assist to who else? Dante Coppola with starting the scoring off here today.
Yep, Wayland already taking a 1-0 lead there. And Bedford really having no answer. They've been in Wayland territory, if I'm not mistaken, once this game. Really, it's been all Wayland so far in this first quarter as the face-off will happen. It's Will Monroe. And the face-off looks like it's going to be won by Wayland. Monroe taking it up the field, loses his defender. He's still going towards the net, and he Looks like he missed there, but great run there from Will Monroe.
Yeah, Gabe, but if you asked me early on, it just looks like Wayland is able to get whatever they want, just making runs deep into Bedford territory, really unchallenged until the very end, and that's just not a good recipe for Bedford.
Wayland getting it right in front of goal. Can they put it in? It's going to be just wide and behind the net, and it'll be... The ball's still in play as Bedford has it. They're trying to get something deep. He's got it at the 50. He's at the 40, 35, 30. Place a pass. And this will be Wayland ball now.
What a recovery there by Wayland. Bedford was on the break. They had numbers, but Wayland got back, rushed back, and was able to force that out of bounds.
You know what it is? That's really a sign of a well-coached team, not giving up on the play, no matter how bad it looks for you. Wayland seems to be down and out on that one.
Yeah, no doubt. And see how fast they're already back into Bedford territory. They're just so fast. They're always moving. And obviously in a 3-4 record here, this could be a make-or-break game for Wayland. But we obviously don't know exactly how many games they're going to play this season. But regardless of that, at 3-4, they try to get a win here and even up their record. That could be huge for Wayland.
Here's Monroe, misses. Recovered by Derubis. This one still behind the net. Wayland trying to work it into a scoring position.
And you see number 7 there, Billy Kosar, being harassed by Bedford defender, but keeping it behind him. Obviously a very fun, you can see early on, Wayland's a very fundamentally sound team. They're able to get into Bedford territory this time, couldn't convert, but good sign for things to come.
As Bedford just tossing the ball deep, but now Wayland's going to return this one. They're going, that's Charlie Boulevard. As this will be an errant pass out of bounds, it looks like. Oh no, Dante actually kept it in play.
It looks like Wayland will come back up, set it up with number 21, Chris Monroe at the top, sophomore. Let's see what he can do.
Monroe in a one-on-one situation. He's going to blaze, he's going to take him on. A shot and no good. Very tough shot, but this Bedford goalkeeper has faced a lot of shots and only let in one goal. He's really keeping them in this game.
Yeah, no doubt. And Wayland just had way too many opportunities. Doesn't look like Bedford really knows or has an answer for them.
Oh, he loses his stick. Bedford looking to get the ball, and this is going to go... Dante's going to take it. But the Legion's going to be Bedford ball. He actually did not get there in time. Bedford will take possession.
Yeah, no doubt. One thing you notice here early on is neither team is being very physical. Obviously, there's been some spots, but neither team really looks to be getting much contact, but obviously we think that'll change as the game heats up.
Bedford sprinting to Wayland territory. And it's a save by Matt Morris, the senior goalie for Wayland. That's Bedford's second shot on goal. And Matt Morris stays in goal. Bedford couldn't catch it. Check from Bedford. Wayland still recovers. Ball still on the ground. And a fight for it, and this one's going to go out of bounds. It'll be Bedford ball.
Yeah, and right on cue there, Gabe, we talked about a little lack of physicality, and immediately you see Wayland's defense getting down and dirty with the Bedford offense, and that's really been the story so far. Wayland keeping Bedford for many opportunities. This, I think, is only maybe their third, while Wayland's staying in the Bedford zone constantly.
Here's Bedford. They have the ball behind the net. They're going to look for a shot. Great pass, and that's a great goal from Bedford. Great setup running behind the net. Wide open player, just a couple of yards in front of the net. Tough, would have been a tough save for Matthew Morris. And Bedford levels the game here at 1-1.
Yeah, Gabe, just like you said, beautiful setup, beautiful goal. Just a quick two-man game. Nothing Wayland could do about it there. Very similar to what Wayland did, just Bedford started behind the goal. And we have a tie game here.
Now Wayland's going to look to get back from that devastating goal as they try to win this face-off. It's going to be, looks like Wayland has it. Will Monroe, he's going to look to reset the play here, looking for an open man.
Yeah, I think that's Will Carr, number 2. And he's just waiting for Wayland to get some numbers so they can set up their offense.
Now Taylor Shue waiting to find an open man here. He's going to take on his defender. He's going to beat him. Looking for a pass. Finds one. Rips a shot. And it is wide right here. And that was Dylan DeRubis there. He's waiting for it. Passes it in front of the goal. Good spin by Wayland. They're going to reset it at the top here. Beating his defender there.
Yeah, Shue tries to get it inside again. He's had some success penetrating this Bedford defense, but recently Wayland hasn't been able to convert. Obviously they have that one goal, but let's see if they can finally get one in the back of the net to take the lead again.
As Bedford really sprinting through Wayland, and the ball's loose. People trying to get it, and Bedford will be, his player hits the deck here, and waiting for the ref signal. I think it'll be Bedford ball.
Yeah, Gabe, recently we've seen a couple Bedford players hit the deck. Wayland's really picking up the intensity here, getting physical with Bedford. Let's see if they want that fight.
Saved by Matt Morris. And now Wayland sprinting through this Bedford team. They're going to play a pass, and that's a goal. And who else than Dante Coppola is second of the game. He scored 6 against his team last time, and they still can't stop this man. Wayland's up 2-1.
Yeah, and I think it was the same guy with an assist. If I'm not wrong, it was Ryan Mack with the assist there. So 2 assists for Mack, 2 assists for Coppola. It just looks like they have beautiful chemistry there on the field. Yeah, and Wayland has the lead.
Yeah, and that's what you need. It appears though Will Monroe will be taking the face-off again. Andrew Schiffler really not appearing in this one. Obviously, those are the 2 face-off men for Wayland. And Will Monroe will go for his 4th face-off, or 5th face-off of the game. And Will Monroe will win it again. He's had a really good success rate in this one as he passes it up the field. And he'll get it back and he'll reset. This is Chris Monroe, and yes, those 2 are brothers, Chris Monroe and Will Monroe.
Yeah, and it says a lot about Chris Monroe here as a sophomore to get this kind of playing time. It's the 2nd or 3rd time we've seen him with the ball. Looks like his teammates trust him, and that says a lot for a sophomore.
And this one will be saved by the Bedford goalie. He'll look to get this to a teammate, as he does. To the right. And Bedford will get this in stride. He goes to the 45-40. He's gonna maneuvers past his defender. And the ball's loose. Wayland doing a great job to get that ball out of the player's stick. And Wayland's going to get it. That's number 54, Graham Lee. And this one will...
It took maybe a timeout called on the field.
Yeah, timeout called. Not sure by what team. Yeah, timeout called Ditia. So, this game has been not so physical. Wayland has hit a couple players of Bedford's to the ground here. How does Bedford respond to that kind of defense from Wayland?
Yeah, well, Gabe, obviously, I don't think either of us saw the last game, but considering the fact it was 15-4, it looks like Bedford got beat up last time, too, both on the scoreboard, my guess is, on the field as well. And Wayland's just trying to intimidate them again, trying to beat them both physically and mentally. The only way Bedford can combat this is by matching their intensity, matching their physicality, getting some Wayland players on the deck. Let's see if they can do that here as we come out of this timeout.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth there. Really, judging by the scoreline of last week's game, it's really Wayland's game to lose, judging by that scoreline. So Wayland, they're just going to try to send as many guys, really intimidate Bedford, like you said, and hopefully that turns into a positive result for them.
No doubt. Let's see what happens here. Looks like Wayland will be starting.
And we have just 16 seconds left in the first quarter, I believe. So not much time left.
Yeah, Wayland just probably looking to not make any mistakes here, not give it the ball, just get it up a little and run this quarter out.
They're going to go, actually going to go for a goal here, sprinting to it. And the ref will blow his whistle, and that is the end of the first quarter. If you're just joining us, you're watching Wayland Student Press Network's live coverage of Wayland Varsity Lacrosse facing off against the Bedford Buccaneers. The score is 2-1 in favor of the Wayland Warriors, and I'm Gabe Leikerman, and alongside me is Aditya Welling. And Aditya, I actually spoke with some of Wayland's players prior to today's game, and some of them told me that some junior varsity players might be getting some playing time in today's hard-fought contest. What do you make of this?
Hey Gabe, what that tells me is you don't want to disrespect Bedford, and obviously I don't think Wayland looks down on Bedford, but what it tells me is two things. One, they're really trying to, put their season into top gear, try to get a winning record, trying to maybe not turn their season around because I don't think they've had a bad one, but maybe, make that last second push to try to get it over the top. And trying to get some new faces, fresh faces in there and see what they've got at the lower levels, obviously at JV. But what it also tells me is they kind of look at Bedford as, maybe a little bit of a tune-up game. Again, not to disrespect them, but considering the fact it was 15-4 last time, that tells me Wayland is confident that they can still get a lead on Bedford and then get some JV players in there, see how they can do. Let's see what Bedford has to say about that.
Yeah, and if you just saw that huddle during the period between quarter one and quarter number two, Wayland had a lot of players in that huddle, and that's not just all varsity players. That's some of the JV guys looking to get some playing time at the next level, which everyone hopes to play varsity if you're an athlete in high school sports. And now there will be a face-off to start off the quarter, and that is Will Monroe again.
Yeah, it looks like Wayland coach really trusts Monroe to take those face-offs. Physical player. We've seen him deck a couple kids so far, so yeah. Just see if he can. I think he's won most of them so far. Let's see if he can win another one.
Yeah, Wayland, ref's gonna drop the ball here and on his whistle, and it'll be Monroe again. Gets the ball and he's gonna sprint through this team and he's gonna pass it to his brother, Chris Monroe, who's just gonna lose the ball here, but gets it right back. Maneuvers around his defender, looking for a shot, and this will be saved by the Bedford goalie.
Yeah, and you see both, obviously both Monroes, as Will Monroe's a senior, but his younger brother Chris just getting a lot of playing time early on. And Gabe, you just talked about the JV players getting playing time, as Bedford scores a goal there on a breakaway. Can't see exactly who scored that, but obviously tying up the game there. Not a great defensive effort there by Wayland. But, as I was saying about Chris Monroe, let's see if any other sophomores or freshmen, obviously, is unlikely, but any other JV players, let's try to make them out, see if they get any playing time in this game against Bedford, which all of a sudden has become a tie game.
Yeah, and that goal by Bedford really just, if you've ever seen a Euro step in basketball, it's kind of what the Bedford player did to that Wayland defense. Really created a lot of space for him, as this face-off will be won by Monroe again, as he's going to get the ball and actually give it to Bedford.
Yeah, I think there might have been a foul call there. I heard a whistle, so don't know exactly what happened, but just had to give up the ball to Bedford, is my guess.
Played in front of goal, and this will be...
And a Bedford player got absolutely decked. Trying to make out who that is right now. I believe it was, yeah, just got out of the screen so we can't see, but maybe it was a foul call there. I don't know, but that saved what looked like a for sure goal.
As this ball will be picked up by Wayland. That's Will Carr. He's going to pass it to the middle of the field. And he gets absolutely dropped.
Yeah, number 47 there. Number 47, Michael Baschetto, who was trying to make a run inside, got absolutely decked. But Wayland keeps the ball here from behind the goal. See if they can set something up and take back this lead.
There's Dante Coppola. Swings the pass to Carr.
Yeah, and if they're trying to score here, obviously looking for Mack and Coppola is probably their best bet, because that's how they've scored their 2 goals so far, with Ryan Mack with 2 assists and Dante Coppola with 2 goals. So let's see how they set it up here.
Carr.
Carr.
Derubis really taking his time with this one.
Yeah, Wayland's taking their time to set up pretty much every single time down.
It'll be a great save by Bedford, and this will trickle out of bounds. It'll be Wayland ball. It's Coppola running this. That was actually Billy Cosart.
And it looks like 21 Monroe still in there. Chris Monroe will start up the offense, take their shot, won't go in. Bedford on the break. This is where they've hurt Wayland so far. Most of their goal, or I think one maybe both of their goals have been on break. So Wayland really has to get back here.
There's Cosart. There's a shot, and that's a goal. Billy Cosart with a rifle of a shot beats the Bedford keeper and gives Wayland back the lead at 3-2.
Wow, what a shot there by Cosart. He got by his defender, had the angle, but the angle was a little weird on net, but he's still able to get it in. Might have hit post and in. So yeah, just a great shot, and Wayland has the lead again. A back and forth game, which is better for us to see, but Wayland probably wants to put some distance, some insurance between them and Bedford and pull away.
Yeah, Wayland winning 15-4 last time. This has definitely been a closer fought game, as Monroe with another face-off. Will Monroe, that is, and he's going to win it again. And Will Monroe's going to take this one about the 30. He's going to try to find a teammate.
Yeah, it looks like Ryan Mack just checked in. So let's see if that connection between him and Coppola can give Wayland another goal here.
And obviously a change that has been made. Masks don't have to be worn anymore in-game in sporting events. Of course, they've been worn ever since sports came back due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And now, you do not have to wear masks. And that's a great goal from Wayland.
Yeah, it looks like Will Monroe just ran across, got by his defender, and just rifled it in there. And that's really, I think, the goal that Wayland was looking for there. You know, they've been up 1, but it's been a seesaw game. But that goal, that could be, demoralizing for Bedford, who's trying to stay in this game. But obviously, Gabe, just from the looks of it, they just look overmatched. They have this entire game. It's mostly been Wayland and Bedford's zone. So, they've tried to keep pace. Now, I think my guess is Bedford calling a timeout there to try to regroup. But yeah, big goal from Monroe there, 4-2 Wayland.
And Aditya, as for the masks that now they do not have to be worn in sporting events, do you agree with that decision? Do you think it's safe for players to not be wearing masks?
Well, Gabe, if you ask me, I do think it's safe, and obviously because it's outdoors. The only reason sports were able to come back in the first place is outdoor sports such as soccer and basketball later on. But some towns didn't even allow basketball this winter, so it was mainly outdoor sports, which we know lacrosse is. And in addition to that, just the fact that a lot of these high school sports, which is mainly what we're talking about, have kids who are over 15, and I believe it was just approved for 12 to 15-year-olds to get their vaccines. But we know that 15 and over has been able to get their vaccines, and a lot of them have. So just the fact that a lot of these kids are vaccinated, to me, makes it safe enough to have these kids out there playing with no masks. It obviously makes for a better experience all around. I think both me and you have played high school sports with masks on, and it's just not as pleasant as it would be without them. So yeah, to me it is safe.
Definitely with the amount of running you have to do in some of these sports, masks are a killer to wear. And as now we're back, and Will Monroe, after scoring Wayland's 4th goal of the game, will take this face-off. And judging by his previous face-offs, he's going to look to win this one again. As he's going to get it again. Will Monroe is just dominating the face-offs. He's going to run through this Bedford defense, really weaving through. Here's a shot and another goal. Will Monroe just taking it to the house and making Bedford's defense pay. Just a hard-fought run and nothing Bedford could do. Wayland 5-2.
Yeah, Gabe, that was some Lionel Messi type stuff. I mean, he didn't even look at his teammates. Not that that was a bad thing considering the end result, but he just put his head down and worked his way to the goal. Pretty much just got a shot off. And as he was running, I kind of realized it just looks like Wayland's so much bigger than Bedford. Obviously, both varsity teams, as it doesn't look like Monroe's going to take this face off. Instead, it'll be
Andrew Schiffler.
Andrew Schiffler doesn't win it. Bedford has it. Looks like a foul was called there. Will retain the ball. But yeah, just overall, it looks like Wayland's so much bigger than Bedford. That's probably a huge reason they're up 5-2 right now.
Yeah, you can see Wayland being really aggressive, hitting the stick. Bedford is gonna, Bedford's gonna take it. Goes through on goal, but he gets thrown down by the Wayland defense. Great defense by Wayland.
Yeah, and just overall, Wayland's been 1,000 times more physical than Bedford, and there you see Bedford check a Wayland player. But overall, it's been, in terms of intensity, it's been Wayland by a mile so far, and the only way Bedford's going to get back in this game is if they change that.
And now, a stoppage of play here. We're waiting to see what's going on as Graham Lee checks into the game. One of the Wayland's defenders.
And Gabe, what'll be interesting to see here is obviously we've seen Monroe score the last two. The first two were scored by Coppola. Is if Wayland starts to pull away here, as we talked about earlier, which JV players will come in and will they make an impact? Because that's really if Wayland puts distance from himself as a fast break starts here with I believe Michael Boschetto, who gives it up, and ball looks like it went out of bounds.
And that was a great save by the Bedford goalie.
Yeah.
Michael Boschetto got a great pass from Cossart right in front of the net, and big save there for Bedford's goalie. We'll see if that gives them momentum in this one, because they look like they need it, judging by the scoreline.
Yeah, Boschetto looked a little angry there. I think he wanted a foul of some type to be called. It looked like he got tripped up, but regardless of that, yeah, as you talked about, that could be huge for Bedford here. But as I believe Coppola makes it run inside, loses his stick. And Bedford, let's see if they can really capitalize on the break. They've scored really both their goals on the break. But Wayland's just harassing them everywhere they are. They can't seem to get any breathing room. The only way they're going to get back in this game is if they find a way to get that breakthrough goal.
Yeah, Alex Mealy on the defensive end of that. There's a shot, and that's going to be wide right. Mealy with the ball. Loses it. As it's a 3-on-1. Bedford all over him. Mealy trying to get rid of it.
Yeah, and Mealy just, he was trucked by 3 or 4 Bedford players who stayed on his feet. He just looked so much bigger and stronger than them, as we talked about. And the fact he was able to stay upright and, get the ball up now in Bedford territory just says a lot about, who he is as a player and how he plays. Just the whole Wayland team is just out-toughing Bedford right now.
Yeah, here's Monroe looking for a teammate. He gets one, and that'll be DeRubis, and that's going to be out of bounds. DeRubis looks a bit frustrated that he couldn't control that pass from Monroe. It'll go to the goalie, who play it up, and Bedford will look to take this off. He's past the 50 into Wayland territory now. Bedford working it around. Right in front of goal. He's looking to rip a shot, and this is going to be wide left. and Bedford will retain the ball.
Yeah, and just look at Bedford settling, for shots with the goal at the 10-yard line. They've shot most of their shots outside, the 17, 18-yard line, which is just, it's so unlikely to score from there, while Wayland has scored a lot of their goals, inside the 15, close up after getting some ball movement. Bedford's just going to have to change that, stop settling, pass it around, and get inside because, down 5-2, they need to make a breakthrough.
Yeah, and Lacrosse, the ball is very small and it goes really fast. These players rip their shots, so the closer in, the harder it is to save, as it is hard on all phases for these goalies. But Matt Morris is doing a good job so far, only letting in 2, as Lacrosse is a high-scoring game. As Wayland will look to try and get this up the field. As Billy Kosar with the ball. Passes it to DeRubis. Coppola to number 17, who is James Waldron. First time we're calling his name. He's going to look to try and get this to a teammate. He plays this to either, I think it's Kosar to the opposite hash. Coppola makes his defender miss. And he's gonna score this. Dante Coppola, and that's his 3rd. He's the hat-trick hero and puts Wayland up 6-2 with 4 minutes 14 left in the half.
Yeah, Wayland just had a scoring explosion here. Obviously, we saw Will Monroe take over a big chunk of that, but Coppola just keeps his mark on the game felt, everywhere. He's, trucked a couple players. He's played good defense, and now he has the hat trick to go along with it. Just a solid game by him and a solid game by Wayland to pull away.
And now Will Monroe is on the faceoff, and he's going to win it. He's going to take it through this defense like we've seen him do many times before. And he's going to put this shot wide left. A flag is down on the field. A foul is called. As you can see, the ref signaling to his fellow ref. And
yeah, it looks like one Monroe will come in for the other. Let's see Chris come in and Will come out. And let's see if Wayland can make this a 5-goal game here after the foul.
And now Wayland will take this in. Kosart to the player behind the goal. Can't quite see his number. To Coppola. Coppola to Monroe. Back to Coppola. And Wayland is really working this around. Rubis. Pass it in. Monroe looking for a shot. Couldn't quite get it off. Coppola over there to the 15. This Wayland team really moving the ball well, trying to mix up this Bedford team. Great pass. DeRubis just misses wide left. That was a very good play from Wayland. But they're going to retain possession. That's Kosart behind the net. Kosart's going to fire it into the middle. Coppola rips a shot. It bounces around, but it will just go out, and the keeper will get his stick on it.
Yeah, and you see, when Wayland's in the zone as the Bedford keeper who tries to get it into Wayland territory. But when Wayland's in the Bedford zone, they're really looking for 6 and 9. The Rubis brothers, Shane and Dylan. They're the guys near the goal here trying to get the ball through. As Wayland gets a turnover here, number 40 brings it up. Who is
Michael Marchetto. He's going to take it up the field.
Yeah, Theo Melman was the one with the steal there. He's a freshman, so that obviously says a lot about who he is. We talked about Chris Monroe, who's a sophomore, but a freshman to be playing varsity minutes here. That's huge.
That's Will Carr with an absolute rifle to the bottom right corner to put Wayland up 7-2 in this second quarter.
Yeah, and I think just overall, we talked about the way that Bedford could win this game. We both agreed that the only way they're going to have a chance in this game is if they stop settling and get more physical, and they just haven't been able to do that. Wayland just out-toughed them the entire game, and this is the result. And Will Monroe, that is, with another face-off, see if he can, I believe, stay undefeated and he does. And Wayland will set up here. Ryan Mack back in the game, and he'll survey his team.
He's looking for teammate to pass to. He's going to make his defender miss. Rips a shot over the net. It'll stay Wayland ball. That'll be Darubis with it. Darubis pass to Mack. Ryan weaving through. Could have a shot here. Fakes. And this Bedford defender is all over him. He gives that to Darubis.
Yeah, they've played pretty special attention to Max Tavares. There's a turnover. Bedford does not have numbers, but they're on the break. Wayland so good at getting back. Taylor Shue just got trucked by a Bedford player, now harassing Bedford, trying to keep him out of the Wayland goal zone. And yeah, but a 7-2 lead here for Wayland. They're just trying to make sure they close out this last, I believe, around 2 minutes on a good note here going into halftime.
Needs to be saved by Morris. He's had a very good game so far, just letting in 2 goals.
Yeah, not that many attempts either for him to save, but like you said, great game. And now Wayland on the break. I believe that's Mack, or Ryan Mack, I should say.
Wayland moving the ball around. Here's Cosart. That's it back to Darubis. Darubis trying to make his man miss. He does. He's looking to get in a shot, and he does. Dylan Darubis puts it in and puts Wayland up 8-2. What a half for Wayland as this one draws to a close. 33 seconds left, and Wayland is up 6 goals, 8-2.
Again, if I'm not wrong, I believe both the Darubis brothers have scored. Gabe, obviously, you'll correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, just a great goal there. You know, all the goals have really been impressive. Both the ones that have started with ball movement and the ones that have been, you know, solo efforts. But yeah, 6-goal lead here. Looks like Will Monroe there didn't win the faceoff. That's the first time I've seen that happen in a while. But nonetheless, Wayland with the ball.
Chris Monroe, the ball, settling it down. He's gonna go one-on-one with his defender. And he's gonna get double teamed here. This is where you have to find someone to pass to. He's still got it, but loses it, and this will roll out of bounds. And this will be halftime here. Halftime here. Wayland up by a score of 8-2. I'm Gabe Leikerman. Alongside me is Aditya Welling. We're going to take a short break, and we'll catch you in the second half. You are watching Wayland Student Press Network's live coverage of Wayland Varsity Lacrosse. I'm Gabe Leikerman. Alongside me is Aditya Welling, and we're coming back for this second half of the Wayland Warriors hosting the Bedford Buccaneers on our brand new turf. Wayland's up by a score of 8-2 and have really just been dominating every facet of this game, holding Bedford to a scoreless second quarter. And now a face-off from Will Monroe. And he will lose this one. A rare one, and it'll go behind the net. And Aditya, what did you think of that first half? Obviously, Wayland really dominating it, but what did you think of more in depth of that first half?
Yeah, Gabe, like you said, Wayland dominating. You can see the scoreboard and see that. But I think both physically, you know, and mentally, they've been dominating Bedford. You know, you can see on the screen that they just look bigger than them. But Bedford's had their chances to, you know, to tough it out, you know, and beat Wayland with their skill. But they just haven't done that. You know, they've had their chances, they haven't capitalized. It's been all Wayland, both defensively and offensively. Bedford was, you know, tied 2-2, as you mentioned, but just 6 straight goals by Wayland, unacceptable. I'm sure the Bedford coach was telling them exactly that. They need to show more fight, and that's bottom line. Win or lose, they just need to show more fight in this game. They can't go out like this. Let's see if they do that.
as this will be Wayland's trying to get a shot off, and this will go over the net. Shot from Coppola there, looking for his fourth. He has been a dominant force offensively, leading this team in goals this game.
I believe that was a goal. I heard some cheering there, and the Bedford goalie picked it out of the net. So I believe that was a goal by Coppola. Yeah, and it's 9-2 Wayland.
Oh wow! Ball moves so fast
Yeah.
and so small, I could barely see it. But yeah, 9-2 Wayland. Coppola with his fourth goal of the contest. He has just been dominant. Bedford cannot stop him.
Yeah, and as you talked about, he had 6 goals last time as Will Monroe winning the faceoff, but he's on pace to do that again. Obviously, 3 goals in the first half, and a quick one out of the gate here in the third quarter. So let's see if he beats that 6 goals from last time as Wayland begins to pull away.
Here's Cosart playing it back to Monroe, Chris Monroe.
Yeah, him and Theo Melman, I believe, are the only 2 underclassmen, I guess you could say, who I've seen get, significant playing time. So, as Wayland begins to pull away here, it'll be really interesting to see what other underclassmen get put in for Wayland. Because as you talked about, they're looking to put JV players in.
This will be another goal. Dante Coppola again, his 5th one. He has accounted for half of Wayland's goals in this one. That's his 5th, as I've already mentioned. Wayland up 10-2. And at this point, you're just wondering when these JV players will come in, because I bet they're as ready as they'll ever be for this one.
Gabe, just insane, how skilled Dante Coppola is and the way he's played. He's just controlled all facets of the game. He's stayed passive when he has to, but when he has to attack, he knows when. And as Monroe takes the face-off and wins it, once again, just pretty much every single Wayland player has dominated their counterpart on Bedford the entire game. It hasn't been close since it was 2-2. Bedford obviously can try to salvage it, score a little more, but just what a showing by Wayland. Started sluggish early on, but just physical, tough, just outwilling Bedford overall across the board.
And Wayland outclassing them, and now they're going to look to add to their total. Here's Cope. Oh, that's not Coppola. And he's going to look to score here, and he will not. The Bedford goalie will have this one.
Yeah, I don't know exactly who took that. It was either Coppola or Ryan Mack, but I'm not sure. Yeah, but regardless of that, Bedford trying to cut into this 8-goal lead.
Yeah, this has just been not even a close contest. This Bedford team looking to move this ball up. They're going to get into Wayland territory here, 14. And a great hit there. Stick check from number 5, who is Philip Natus.
Yeah, Philip Natus there. He's been pretty quiet this game, but defensively just been a beast.
This will go behind the net. Wayland have a player back there, so they will retain possession. Here's... He rolls that one. I haven't seen that many of that to Taylor Shue. Shue looking to have a shot, and he won't score it. Saved by the goalie. Keeper will look to find one of his teammates. He's going to run out. He will play it up. Great bump there. Bedford retains possession. They score. A great goal from Bedford from pretty far out. A really tough shot there, and Matt Morris lets in one for the first time since the first quarter, and Bedford does indeed cut into that 8-goal deficit, and now are down 7, 10-3.
Yeah, Gabe, good goal mentally, obviously, for Bedford to get on the scoreboard for the first time since the first quarter. But just like you said, it's such a difficult goal. Once in maybe 5 tries, I'm guessing, any team would be able to score with any player. And it's just indicative of how it's been. Wayland's kept Bedford from any easy shots. from getting inside, and Bedford's have to settle. You know, from time to time they've made it in 3 times so far this game, but it's just been so tough for them, and that's why it's 10-3 Wayland.
Wayland's just going to slow this possession down. They really have no rush. They're up by 7. This is their game to lose. This Carr going to take on his defender. Carr puts it in. This will go behind the net, and Carr will recover it. He still has the ball in his stick. We'll have to find a teammate here. Opla. I bet now this Bedford team should have been aware since last game with his 6 goals, but now he's got 5 in this one. They definitely know his name by now and his jersey number and who to watch out for. So Wayland will score this one. That is number
9, I believe, or 6, who is one of the Darubas brothers. That looks like Shane. I believe his brother Dylan scored the earlier one, so now we know for sure that both the Darubas brothers have scored, and that makes, I believe, all the Wayland attackers, other than Billy Kosar, have scored in this game so far. That one makes it 11-3, gets it back to an 8-goal lead, and yeah, Wayland's just cruising along.
And Billy Kosar actually did score a goal. The only one that hasn't scored is Brian Desmond, who is a JV player who has not seen any minutes. But you just wonder, with this scoreline, an 8-goal lead for Wayland, it's only a matter of time before these JV players see the varsity field and try to make an impact and get their name out there to the coaches.
Yeah, no doubt. It just depends where the Wayland varsity coach sees it as a comfortable enough lead. Obviously, I believe he's comfortable with 8 goals, but just enough to. And again, Wayland scores. I believe that was
Dylan. Oh no,
it was Will Monroe.
Will Monroe,
who has a hat trick. Yeah, it's a hat trick for Monroe, and just it's just too easy for Wayland right now. And just obviously, Wayland's look good, but if you're Bedford, it has to be borderline embarrassing, to let a team score like this. They're 3 goals away from matching how much they scored last game. We're only in the 3rd quarter, have plenty of time to go. So, yeah, Bedford's, just for their own sake, obviously it looks like the game is pretty much out of reach, but for their own sake, they really need to just pick up the intensity, try to get some in the back of the net, and really stiffen up on defense more than anything else.
And Schiffler was actually taking that face-off. Will Monroe got a rest after his hat trick, and now Wayland will look to defend as Bedford's in their territory, a little bit behind the net. As I believe Bedford will keep possession. Looking to beat Yo Melman here. And this will Bedford will keep it. Another player snags it off the ground. That's the goal. They has a hole. He's going to shoot it. Great save by Matt Morris. Has to dive down for that one. And ball is somewhere on the ground here. Bedford recovers. And a great check there from Alex Mealy.
He's just been an absolute beast on defense. Sorry to cut you off there, Gabe, but he's just been all over the place. He's been trucking kids left and right. I bet he's probably got most of the kids on Bedford so far. And, he's just kept that brick wall going for Wayland. Only 3 goals for Bedford so far this game.
And Wayland are really in no rush. They're going to get this. And Bedford's actually going to take it out from their stick. They're going to run this up the field. Looking to cut into this 9-goal deficit. Now this is Bedford's biggest deficit of the game, as Morris will get a comfortable save there. He's going to throw this one up the field. And now Wayland going in, and it'll be a save by the goalkeeper. Now Bedford has it again. Oh, and a great play. And then Coppola one-on-one with the goalie, and he scores it. And that is 6. Coppola matches his goals from last game. Gets 6 here, and Wayland is up 13-3.
Yeah, and Gabe, that's just too easy. Obviously, happy for Dante Hobler there. And it looks like he has a chance to probably break his six-goal mark from last game. But that's just awful for Bedford. You know, we don't have a shot at their coach, but I'm just sure he's, you know, so disappointed in the way his team has played. Down 10 goals is just, regardless of the score, just such a lack of attention to detail. You know, Coppola looked like he was completely forgotten about, which is unacceptable considering the way he's played. Yeah, just an awful showing for Bedford.
Now a penalty will be called. It'll be Bedford ball. Bedford will take this up. And now Wayland player hits the deck, and now Bedford keeps possession.
And it looks like we're getting some new faces in there, Gabe. Some guys we haven't seen so far in this game. Or maybe just guys who have been relatively quiet. But, yeah, you know, could be a sign of, you know, the Wayland coach trying to shift to some younger players as we get to a double-digit lead here for Wayland, up 13-3. So, yeah, you know, we see some varsity players coming out right now. Carr checks in for Wayland. But let's see, you know, how the dynamic of the team shifts as we wind this game down and this quarter down.
Carr steamrolling through Wayland. This will stay Wayland ball as Ryan Desmond, seeing his first action, reaches out his stick, so Wayland keeps possession. Desmond, JV attacker, and now, yeah, you're right, you we are starting to see some JV players trying to make an impact for Wayland.
Yeah, and obviously Bedford, I don't assume, are going to pick any JV players out as they look pretty thin or stay with their varsity and a timeout called here on the field. But as you said, Gabe, yeah, JV players coming in, they're going to have to play Bedford varsity players, as I don't assume they brought their JV as well. So, yeah, this will be a massive test for them and see who rises to the creep of the crop.
Yeah, and Wayland just, obviously, the man to talk about, the man of the hour, is Dante Coppola. Nitya, if you were Bedford's coach, what would you say to your team in the huddle right now?
You know, Gabe, if it was me, at this point at 13-3, my guess is he's not going to be in the game much anymore. But regardless of that, at any point in the game, I would just say 32, there needs to be a body on him at all times. There's no way 32 can be by himself. There's no way there can be a stick in his face. At a certain point, he has to be the main focus for Bedford. It's just surprising, I guess, that he hasn't looked like it's been the main focus for Bedford so far. Even after a 3-goal half, you know, he already has, I believe he has 5 goals, correct? So, or
I think he has 6.
6. So yeah, so he's already had as many he had in the first half in this third quarter, and you would assume with a halftime break that they've just as around, you know, 3:19 left here. But yeah, if I was a coach, sorry to make it a long answer, but if I was a coach, I'd just be telling my team there needs to be a guy on 32.
Yeah, that's the simple answer right there. Because 32, also known as Dante Coppola to us, has just been absolutely raining havoc on this Bedford goal. Billy Cosart will have this, and he'll give it to Carr. Carr to Coppola. Coppola swings it.
Yeah, it looked like we had some fresh faces in there, but it looks like an all varsity lineup so far right now. So as we see, obviously Chris Monroe there, who's the youngest Wayland player on the field right now, but he's had a good amount of time the entire game. So yeah, looks like Wayland's varsity coach sticking with his top gun players as Coppola takes a shot, and wow.
Oh,
that is...
What a shot from Coppola. That's 7 goals now. He has accounted for half these Wayland goals. That's 14-3 Wayland with a little under 3 minutes to play in this third quarter. Dante Coppola with what's that, like a 20-yard shot.
That Gabe, I don't know if I've ever seen, regardless of the sport, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. That was next level, not only accuracy, but that was, considering the distance on that shot, that's insane. And I believe he's getting a rest here, well deserved. But with 7 goals in less than 3 quarters, that is, I'm assuming, we can't really hear the crowd, but you know, they should really begin a standing ovation already in this third quarter, given the performance he's had. And
you viewers really can't see my face right now, but my mouth is wide open. I'm starstruck. That was like from 20 yards away, maybe 15. That was a really far shot. Copeland nails it.
And I mean, talk about a rifle. I mean, that looked like from our area here in the studio, that looked like a million miles an hour. I mean, the ball was from his stick into the back of the net in, a millisecond maybe. Just what a shot. From, like Gabe said, it looked like 20 yards out. That's what a way to get the 7. I'll just say that. What a way to get the 7. Beat his record from last game. All the last game, 6 goals against Bedford, and against the same team, 7 in less than 3 quarters. I mean, what can you say about number 32, Dante Coppola?
Now, Bedford trying to reset here, and the new Bedford player checks into the game. Bedford will continue their attack, down 11 goals. He loses the ball, and Whalen will recover it. Now Whalen's going to take this one.
Yeah, it looks like has some numbers here.
And this will be a Whalen ball again.
You see Desmond now on the bottom of the screen. The 17 comes in. Number 17 for Whalen, that is James Waldron, who's been relatively quiet so far in this game. But yeah, we saw Desmond a little bit earlier on. It looked like he went out, but he's back in the game. And we hope to see some more JV players, some fresh faces come in for this Whalen team, as the lead is 11, 14-3, and as Gabe said, half of which 7 goals by Dante Coppola.
And obviously, JV players coming into a varsity scene, it's really just for the coaches to just see what their future players can do, because most of the JV guys are younger than the varsity guys, so they've still got a lot of potential in them. So this will really give the coaches a good view of who can play at the next level sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and Gabe, as we talked about before, and as the third quarter comes to an end, but as we talked about before, they're going to be playing Bedford's varsity players, all indications show. So I don't think Whalen varsity coaches are expecting them to maybe win this quarter, but just trying to see who gives the best effort and who's the most physical out there.
Yeah, this sport is all about physicality, as you just mentioned. This third quarter comes to a close. Wayland up by a whopping score of 14-3, as we see some JV guys come in to the game trying to make an impact. Dante Coppola with 7, really nothing else to say. And now if you're a Wayland, if you're a JV guy who has not seen the field yet, obviously look at the amount of players in that huddle, there's a lot of them. If you're one of these players who has not seen the field yet, what are you hoping for in this next quarter?
Well, if you're a JV player, you're obviously hoping to get some time on the field. But I think the big question is, what if you're a coach for Whalen right now, what are you hoping to see from your JV players? As the reason you're putting them in is to obviously reduce the risk of any injury for your varsity players, as they've earned the right to get some rest here with the game out of hand, but also to see what you have in JV, what you have in the future. And if I was a varsity coach, as we talked before, I'm not expecting the Whalen JV kids to maybe beat the Bedford varsity players, as that might be a little unreasonable. But I'm just seeing who's not scared, because they're going to be playing kids who are most likely older than them, and definitely probably bigger than them and stronger than them. So I'm just looking for who's not scared, who's willing to take on that Bedford senior with no hesitation. Stick check him, body check him, regardless of the age. So if I was a Whalen coach, that's what I'd be looking for. And if I was a JV player, I'd be hunting down the biggest, baddest Bedford player and making my mark on this game, regardless of the score.
Yeah, if I'm like, I'm gonna quickly make a basketball reference here. This guy like Patrick Beverly, he might not be like the most well-known player or even the most liked. The one thing he has is heart. He plays hard, and he's like 6'3", 6'4" guard. He guards players like LeBron James who are half a foot taller than him, and he gives them a run for their money. He's in their face, and he bothers them. He just bothers them, gets in their face, and that's why he's valued in the NBA. And we're just looking to see the so-called Patrick Beverly of this Wayland Warrior JV team.
Yeah, no doubt, but it looks like Wayland will stick with some varsity players. Looks like New Bedford players, actually. Some players I haven't seen. Obviously, we don't know exactly who's who on Bedford, but it looks like some newer players for Bedford. But for Wayland, looks like pretty much the same lineup. 54 there, Graham Lee, who's had some time so far this game, and Will Monroe, who's taken all the faceoffs so far for Wayland, stays out there. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see when they decide to switch to those JV players, or even if they do. Obviously, that was an assumption before the game, but all varsity so far in this fourth quarter.
Now, Wayland looking to attack here. Brian Desmond is in the game, so there definitely are some JV players in. Here's Mack, Ryan Mack.
Yeah, just
going through.
Wow.
He's going to score.
What a goal there by Ryan Mack. I mean, he was mauled by 3 or 4 Bedford players. Got, all their, pretty much threw everything they had at him. Were hacking him, and he just somehow kept the ball and was able to maneuver and just easy finish there at the end. And one thing I noticed about that we talked about earlier, Gabe, is how close he was when he took that shot. I mean, the goal to the 10-yard line, he might have been at the 12 or 13. And there's been a bunch of Wayland goals like that. Bedford really has had maybe no goals like that out of their 3. I don't think I've seen a single one that's really been close to the Wayland goal. And that's the story of the game so far.
Yeah, you said it better than I could have. It's just, closer you are with that small of a ball and how fast it travels, the harder it is for the goalie to save it. As small as the goal is, it's like in hockey, the puck moves rapidly with these players hitting it. And the closer, the harder it's going to be. And now it's going to go out of bounds, and I think Bedford was closer to the ball, so they will keep possession here. They'll start behind the net. And he's going to lose it. Theo Melman's going to try to get it for Wayland. That's Theo Melman and Alex Mealy, the 2 defensemen in there for Wayland.
Yeah, and Gabe, like we talked about before, Alex Mealy's just been a beast. I mean, look how physical he is. He's been mauling these Bedford players who he looks just physically bigger than all of them. And, he's just been so tough on defense, and he's been the rock for Wayland. Him, and obviously our great goalie, Matt Morris. That's been the story for Wayland so far defensively, and they're already on the break, and they score. What a goal! I like the Boschetto, and a little bit of celebration there, a little bit of a strut at the end, and he deserves it because that was a brilliant goal there on the break that gives Wayland's lead to 13. As we talked about before, they won their last game 15-4. They will get up to 16 already early on in this fourth quarter, and that's just as we get inside of 10 minutes left in this game. 16-3 Wayland. That's just insane, Gabe.
Yeah, that was just a great pass. I didn't catch the defensive player that passed that, but great pass in stride to Michael Boschetto, and he just turned on the Jets and absolutely destroyed that Bedford player in that race. This face-off seems to be a difficult one to get, as that's Schiffler. And he's gonna try to win this one. He gets it to Wayland's territory, but Bedford's gonna ultimately pick it up. And there's gonna be a foul for tripping.
Yeah, it looks like Wayland will retain it here. Alex Mealy will pick it up, and some new Wayland players in. Yeah, some guys you haven't seen so far. It looks like small players. We don't have the exact numbers for them, but I would definitely guess JV players. So, yeah, it looks like some JV players in for Wayland, and with a 13-goal lead, looks like Wayland's coach is comfortable giving it up to the JV players. And it'll be interesting to see what kind of impact they have playing against Bedford varsity talent.
This is going to be interesting to see. And if Bedford, you got to feel for Bedford. If they lose to these JV Wayland players, this is going to be a long bus ride home for them, as whistle will trickle into Wayland territory. Go out of bounds, and Bedford will take possession. They're going to try to attack and hopefully, for them, try to get a goal in this Wayland JV squad. And get rid of it. Ball up to 30. Bedford, I get a flag is thrown, I think. Your whistles.
Yeah, and it looks like Bedford's getting a little chippy. Obviously, understandably frustrated with the way this game is going on, but you know, some extracurricular, I guess you could say, shoving after that play by some Bedford players, attackers. So Wayland, I'm hoping and guessing will keep their composure, considering the fact they're up 16-3. I don't think they're worried about, you know, getting too physical, as they've been the more physical team the entire game. But yeah, there's something to watch.
There's Bedford now in threatening position, hoping to get at least one goal back. And this will be right in front of the net, and another whistle blows.
Yeah, foul on Bedford there. It looks like Wayland ball.
Wayland will get it.
Looks like there's a mix of both varsity and JV players here, as Liam Catlin, I believe is a varsity player, has now come in. Mealy's played the whole game, most of the game, I should say. He's still in, so yeah, mix of both JV and varsity players.
That was a rough hit on 23. Unfortunately, don't quite know who that is.
Yeah, but a great catch by 23 there.
Great catch, and Bedford just fouling him.
Yeah, it looked like a frustration foul there, Gabe, to me. Just, you know, Bedford, understandably not happy with how this game is shaken out. Just trying to keep Wayland off the board in this final, however, maybe 7-8 minutes of this game. So, yeah, like we talked about, it's up to the Wayland JV players to try to maybe score one, maybe 2 goals before this game ends. But yeah, this game's already out of reach for Bedford. Their main focus is just try to, I don't want to say keep their dignity, but to make sure that they, you know, treat the Wayland JV players the way they're supposed to be treated, and beat them substantially, because that's really probably what their coach is looking for.
Yeah, and now Wayland, 23, who got fouled, will take it up. Gives it up to 17. This Wayland team moving around here. Desmond. Good movement here. Desmond's going to chase this rolling ball down. He's going to pick it up. Gives it to Cosart, who looks to be the only varsity player.
Yeah, I believe Cosart, and James Waldron are the only ones I see. And 17, James Waldron are the only varsity players I see right now. So obviously, Alex Miller could be in the back off the screen right now, but yeah, as of now, it looks like mainly JV for Wayland, which is what we expected. At the end of this game, Cosart back to Desmond, trying to set up. Ball trickles back.
It'll be Wayland will get it. Good hustle there from 35, who I just know from experience is Chris Kiernan. We're actually talking to him before the game, and he said he would get some minutes if they were up by a lot, which indeed they are.
Yeah, and just to talk about Chris Kiernan, playing JV basketball with him, he's just a hustler. He hustles like you've never seen before. And you want to talk about making an impression on the varsity coaches, he's someone I would really expect to make that impression. As Gabe just talked about, hustling to get the ball back there and win it back for Wayland. So yeah, keep an eye on 35.
Desmond couldn't quite catch the ball there. And that'll be Bedford ball, as this Bedford player will track this ball down. And they'll start the possession behind the net. Unsure of the amount of time left in this one, but can't imagine it's a lot.
Yeah, my guess is right around 5 minutes. We just got inside 10 minutes, I believe, when the last goal was scored. Could be wrong about that, but yeah, around 5 is my guess, and you know, not going to be very exciting with the game out of reach for Bedford, but certainly going to be interesting to see how Wayland JV plays.
Post there,
Yeah,
actually.
Waldron looks like he hit the post, but Desmond comes up with it and gives it to Cosart, who gets it in, and the ball looks like, oh, getting a little chippy there. And Gabe, you know, like I told you before, I saw some extracurricular shoving back in the Whalen zone a little while back, and it looks like that could be, you know, maybe a result of that. I wasn't able to see exactly who it was, but you know, not much time left. It would be just awful if, you know, anything ridiculous happened with 2:45 left in this game.
Yeah, there was some shoving going on. Almost good to see the refs on top of that one, as don't know if that altercation between those players could have escalated.
Yeah, and it looks like the refs are going to keep an eye on that, as they should. And it looks like Cosart, from the looks of it, is the only varsity player who, at least from the attacking end, who's staying for Wayland. So, yeah, see if Wayland JV can put another goal on the board, or if our final score will stay 16-3. And as Cosart puts it in, ball looks like goes out of bounds.
Now Desmond he has it. He's gonna start possession off, play it in. We're seeing a lot more balls on the ground. That just shows JV a little less skilled, as should be stated with varsity. Varsity obviously should be more skilled than the JV players.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, with most of the game gone, just to talk about varsity, just a brilliant all-around game. Started off a little sluggish. Game was 2-2, could have gone either way, and they just turned on the Jets. Scored, I don't know how many straight. Maybe I believe it was at one point 10-2 before Bedford scored again. So 8 straight goals, just crazy.
This would be a goal.
Yeah, that's. Don't know how that goal is assigned, but number 14, Ryan Desmond. Yeah, Ryan Desmond, I believe, will be sophomore, will be awarded with that goal. It looked like Bedford goalie just bobbled it, and unfortunately went back to the goal. And it's just been that kind of day, Gabe, for Bedford, down 14 points.
And for Ryan Desmond, that's a great way to make an impression. I know him. He's one of my friends. He actually told me he scored in the last one as well when he came into that garbage time when Wayland won 15-4 last game. And he actually scored in that game as well. So another goal here. This just shows these Wayland coaches as the time ticks down. We're just about at 20 seconds left in this fourth quarter. And this face-off will go Wayland's way, as Schiffler will should just try to wait it out. No need to risk any injuries. Yeah, Desmond.
Yeah, Desmond will stay back. And like you said, Gabe, I also talked to Desmond before this game, and he said he thought he would get in. I think Wayland was looking forward to playing Bedford. Again, not to disrespect them, but they expected to win. And as the final whistle blows, 17-3, Wayland Warriors against Bedford Buccaneers. Yeah, just a great game for Wayland overall. Great game to commentate. Maybe not so much at the end, but early on, certainly exciting. Story of the game, no doubt, Gabe, was Dante Coppola with 7 goals, I believe. What do you have to say about him?
Dante Coppola, he was just a force on the offensive end. He was a menace on that goal, and he wreaked havoc on it, highlighted by that final goal. We didn't see him in the game since then, obviously not want to risk any injury. But, as you mentioned, the final, Wayland 17, Bedford 3. I'm Gabe Leikerman. Alongside me is Aditya Welling. And Wayland takes this one. They will improve to a record of 4-4. We'll see you next time. Take it easy.
Thank you.